Hi everyone, this is C. Welcome to my channel, Minimal Chic SF. I make videos on luxury fashion, sustainability. I talk about minimalism, planning, and today's topic is on one of my purses. I don't have a very large collection, but this is my Kelly 32. And before I talk about it, I'm just going to say, please, if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. If you like this kind of content, please hit like. I make And I would say my goal of this video is to give you as much information on this. I've also made a comparison video on my Birkin and my Kelly, and I've also made a video on my Birkin. If you're interested in purchasing this bag or a duplicate or similar style and you have interest in it, then this video is for you. I'm going to talk about my buying experience. I'm going to talk about the weight, the wear and tear, and show you what can fit in this bag. And I'd say I'll just wrap it up with closing thoughts. In terms of the background of this bag, I'm going to preface this with, I am not being sponsored. These opinions are my own. Please do your own research. And I would say, oh, as always, just buyer beware. This bag is the Kelly 32 in black in the cellular style. I do not know the exact leather, but I would say I believe I will link the listing down below just so you can have those dimensions. The dimensions are as follow: 32 centimeters as well as 23 high, as well as 10.5 centimeters on the base. This baby is vintage. I would say she's close to being vintage. I call her vintage now, but she's actually was made in 2001. I acquired her through the Real, and with the listing, she was about half under retail. She was listed, I believe, in good condition. And I picked this bag up because it pretty much came with everything. It came with the box, it came with the dust bags, the raincoat, the strap. It did come with the clochette, and it was supposed to come with the lock. Unfortunately, the lock did get missing. I did contact the Real, and they assisted me very promptly. They were unable to locate the lock, but they were able to give me a credit back on my price. So I would say I was very pleased in my experience in purchasing with the Real and them standing behind their commitment. So in terms of how long I've owned this bag, in my past history, I've always wanted the Kelly bag. When I was 18, it was something that I just kind of fell in love with, and I knew that at some point I wanted to own it. I was very fortunate to acquire it, I want to say, on a younger age, and I would say before I did that, I really tried to do, I'm going to say, like, the road work, and I purchased a few duplicates just to see what kind of size and dimensions would work for me. So I purchased a dupe with the 25 dimensions, the 28, and when I came across this listing, I'd been looking off and on for years, and it was something that I was kind of like one of those items where I was like, if I found one in the condition and price that I wanted, I was just going to click buy. And that's kind of what happened, if I'm being fully transparent. She was in great condition. She came with everything. And the price, although it hurt me a bit, it was feasible because it was in the color and hardware that I wanted. For me, I would say I was willing to get it either in a black or in a gold. For me, I just buy a lot of classic styles and colors, and I was very happy to get it in black. In terms of, I would say just, if you're looking into buying this, I am definitely a fan of looking at a contemporary designer that's a bit lower priced, and I would say like a duplicate, just to see if you really like this bag. I know people complain about having to get in and out, and like the idea of doing the style here. Personally, I only display it like this on with, I would say, with the Hermes out. I haven't carried it around town like this, I would say, but as you can see, it's a little floppy. Typically, if I'm really in a rush, I do that, and I just leave a button like that. Whether or not it's good for the straps, who's to say? But when this bag is about 20 years old, I think it's absolutely fine for her to have a little age. After all, aging gracefully is fine. So, in terms of the weight and dimensions, this one is pretty much fully packed. And it's because I just did a comparison video, but I wanted to show you what could fit in. And I'll do a gloss over first before we dive into what's in my bag on like where the wear and tear is. I think it's really interesting that I get the opportunity to show you a vintage bag because you can kind of see like if you have a newer one or interested in purchasing a newer one, like what it might look like for you if you take great care of it. I don't know who on this before me, but I'm going to say thank you for taking pretty good care of her. In terms of like the glazing, it seems to be pretty solid and well maintained. I would say it's probably better than my Birkin. And here's the back side. In terms of the metal, yeah, there's going to be scratches. That's not surprising given the age of the bag. But again, it still looks pretty shiny. The corners are going to have wear. I will show them to you. If you're horrified, I apologize. I'd say here's the back one. And the camera focused. Again, the feet look great. Here's the right side. And here's the back side. So yeah, there's some corner wear. The strap was listed as being, I want to say abnormal, but to me, like this strap looks in good shape. Like I don't really see any defects. When I'm not using the bag, now the strap stays either closed or I really try to like give it enough room to spread out. In terms of storing this bag, I'll be honest, because of her age and because I like to see my items, otherwise I don't use them, she's out on display. She's not in a dust bag. If I ever get my dream closet, I will be probably having my bags under glass doors. But for the interim, they don't seem to get a lot of dust, and I don't mind that. So that's just a bit on storage and how I store the bags. For each person, it might be different. So I would say I'm just going to dive right in. And I would prefer to peel it back. Again, you can see some surface scratches here. Unexpected completely. The one thing I do want to show you, and I'm not sure what the owner did about this one, but the clochette, as you can see, a little wonky. There's no way I'm probably going to be able to straighten it out with leather conditioner. So when I'm not using the bag, the clochette stays inside. Down the line, I'll probably look at getting it repaired or replaced, but I would say it is what it is. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me too much. This is the inside and the contents of my bag. As you can see, we have a full-size wallet, a zip coin purse, a cosmetic case, which is comparable to the Chanel O compact case, a 6-key ring holder from Louis Vuitton, and a card holder. I would say this is pretty much stuffed at capacity. I could fit a phone in here on top or like in one of these pockets, but I tend not to stuff my bags. I don't really need a lot of, I'm not big into carrying a lot of things, but if anybody had interest, I would say, like, here's other things which we compare. Here's a half letter size planner. And this could fit comfortably in the bag. Just for reference, 30-ounce water bottle. We can try. I would say, as you can see, not going to fit in the bag. I don't know that a smaller wood one. I'm not somebody who carries around a lot of water with her on the go, so I would say maybe a smaller size water bottle might fit. But it's not something I need to have with me at all times. In terms of would I buy this again, and what are my ultimate thoughts on the bag? I love the Kelly. So I'm going to say if I had to pick between the Kelly and my Birkin, I would keep my Kelly. for a couple reasons. The color on it is more universal for me. I wear black and gravitate towards wearing black clothing and accessories a lot more naturally than I would say like a neutral. The Birkin is not as versatile as my Kelly, and I would say like this is probably a forever bag for me. Just based on the amount of time that I've owned, I would say Kellys are fake Kellys. This is something that I've always wanted. Would I go down in dimension on the size 30, 28, or like 25? I own the 25. It was fine. I would say it definitely was much more compact. You definitely couldn't put as much in it. So like the Kelly 25 to me is more like a quick, really cute evening bag. The 28, I would say might be like the Goldilocks size. But for me, the 32 really works. I'm carrying this bag typically from day to night, and like it's coming with me to work and it's going out in the evening. In terms of buying vintage or new, I would say it really depends on your budget. For me, I like the idea of owning a vintage bag, not just in terms of cost savings, but the idea of like I was extending the life of this bag, that this bag was not going to come to me as precious, and that like I would not have the fear of like damaging a bag. Would I buy this exact bag again? I don't know that. This one happened to be a very good deal for the time in which I got it. Am I a little bit bummed that the lock was missing? Yes. But again, the Real did me really right. And I would say, am I bummed that the clochette is a little wonky? Yes. But again, these are minor things. I've seen prices on other bags on other sites where they will charge a premium for just a Kelly, and it will be in, I would say, maybe like $1,000 less, and it won't come with all the attachments that this did. So here it is attached so you can see for reference, and you can still see the curl right there. So I would say that might be the only thing that might bother somebody if they were buying vintage. Like, you might have to put some money in the bag to extend the life and longevity. But I would say for people who are interested in minimalism and sustainability, the idea of repairing versus replacing is always like something that we're advocating. So I'm going to say, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in learning more about fashion, minimalism, and planning, please hit subscribe. Otherwise, I'm going to say thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.